This evil stepmother is finally going to get what's coming to her. A court summons scared her to death. It turns out Ji-young has officially filed a lawsuit against her. She wants to regain custody of her younger son. Arekyung angrily confronted Ji-young. She asked if Ji-young really had to take things this far. Ji-young was determined and refused to back down this time.
준서 내가 친엄마가 아니라는 사실을 알게 되면 어떨 것 같아?
Ji-young told her not to think she could use her younger son as a shield. Arekyung desperately tried to defend herself. She said even with a perfectly matched bone marrow transplant, there's still a chance of failure.
내 자식을 입에 담지도 마.
Ji-young had had enough of Arekyung's hypocrisy. She got up and left the coffee shop. What Arekyung had feared for 10 years was finally happening. She couldn't control her inner terror. Lawyer Yoon, whom Ji-young had hired, called Jae-wook. He inquired about the situation. Jae-wook told him to do everything he could to help Ji-young. He wanted the best legal team assembled for this case. Arekyung walked into the room. She thought her husband didn't know about Ji-young's lawsuit. She begged him to persuade Ji-young to drop the case. Jae-wook looked at her coldly. He said when you make mistakes, you have to face the consequences. Arekyung brought up Jun Seo again. She said how could you bear to let your son get hurt? Jae-wook was furious.
더 이상 준석 끌어들이지 마.
He said you're such a hypocrite. If you really cared about your son getting hurt, you never should have done such a thing in the first place.
여보,
지금 당장 준서가 충격받더라도 당신이 한 짓 용서 못해.
Arekyung knew she was out of options. She approached the show's producer. She said she had fantastic news material. It would definitely create a sensation. During the live broadcast, Arekyung made veiled references to what happened years ago. She said there was a woman who, to save her son with leukemia, disregarded all moral and ethical boundaries, had artificial insemination with her divorced ex-husband, gave birth to a younger son to use as a life-saving tool. The unsuspecting audience was outraged. They said this was inhumane. Some even suggested it was an affair. Ji-young's manager advised her to ignore public opinion. Ji-young was surprisingly calm about it. From the day she filed the lawsuit, she knew everything that was coming would come. Arekyung thought she had succeeded. When she got home, her sister-in-law gave her a harsh scolding.
이런 얄팍한 방송으로 여론 일으킨다고 그게 얼마나 갈 것 같아?
Arekyung wasn't backing down. She said if she didn't do this, she wouldn't be able to survive in this family. Her sister-in-law looked at the unrepentant Arekyung. She warned her not to use this situation to upset their parents. Then she turned and walked out. Arekyung entered Jun Seo's room. She caressed her sleeping son's face. Now everyone had turned against her. She could only cling tightly to Jun Seo as her last lifeline. Lawyer Yoon came to see Ji-young. He said public opinion is really against you right now. Arekyung has proposed a settlement, but Ji-young firmly refused. No matter how difficult it gets, she was going to see this through to the end. Lawyer Yoon had to call Jae-wook. He explained all the stakes involved. Jae-wook also expressed his support for Ji-young to keep fighting. In court, Arekyung kept hammering on the moral issues. She accused Ji-young of using her younger son as a tool, and then abandoning him when she was done. Ji-young explained to the judge. She was forced into an impossible situation back then. She had no choice but to agree to Arekyung's terms. Arekyung submitted written evidence to the court. It was a custody waiver agreement Ji-young had written to Arekyung. The purpose was to let Jun Seo donate bone marrow. Arekyung said this proved Ji-young treated Jun Seo as a tool, but this gave lawyer Yoon the perfect counterargument. He said this actually proves how Arekyung manipulated Ji-young's maternal love back then, forcing her to agree to such cruel conditions. This was the same tactic used 10 years ago when she forced Ji-young to give up her child. The judge was puzzled, since she had already agreed to the donation and signed the agreement. Why file a lawsuit now? Lawyer Yoon explained, because a perfectly matched donor had appeared. Arekyung was afraid of losing her share in the company, so she secretly prevented the donation. This caused Hyun-woo to go blind after his transplant. Arekyung angrily called this defamation. Lawyer Yoon said he was now calling a witness to testify. What no one expected was, the witness who appeared was none other than Arekyung's husband, Jae-wook.